Today, Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem got a grilling on Capitol Hill about potential White House plans to suspend habeas corpus, which is a legal procedure that allows people to challenge their detention in court. Listen to this exchange she had with Democratic Senator Maggie Hassan.
So, Secretary Noem, what is habeas corpus?
Well, habeas corpus is a constitutional right that the president has to be able to remove people from this country and suspend their right to.
Let me stop you, ma'am. Habeas corpus, excuse me, that's incorrect.
CNN senior reporter Daniel Dale is here to give us a flashback to civics class. Daniel, does habeas corpus give a president, any president, the right to remove people?
It doesn't, and it's not like the secretary was offering some fringe interpretation. Like that's just wrong. It's like if someone held up a picture of a giraffe and she said that's a table. Like, just completely inaccurate. So, as you said, habeas corpus gives people the right to challenge their detention in court. It's a hundreds-year-old legal principle dating back to the Magna Carta, or even before that. It requires the authorities to have the body or produce the body, bring this detained person to court and outline the reason for their detention. And again, from the perspective of the detained person, allow them to contest the validity of them being continually confined. Now, I want you to listen to something else the Secretary Noem said at this hearing today.
President Lincoln executed habeas corpus in the past with retroactive action by Congress. I believe that any president that was able to do that in the past, it should be afforded to our current day president. This president has never said he's going to do this. He's never communicated to me or his administration that they're going to consider suspending habeas corpus, but I do think the Constitution allows them the right to consider it.
Do you know what section of the Constitution the suspension clause of habeas corpus is in?
I do not. Nope.
Do you know which article it is in?
No, I do not, sir.
Okay, well, it is in Article 1. Do you know
Okay.
which branch of government Article 1 outlines the tasks and the responsibilities for?
Yes.
Which one?
Congress.
Yes.
So that's correct. This power to suspend the writ of habeas corpus is in Article 1 of the Constitution, which outlines and provides limitations on the powers of Congress, not the president. Now, the clause doesn't specifically say that it is Congress or the president that has the power. It kind of leaves this undefined. But it is not just me who says, or sorry, it's not just most legal scholars who say that it is Congress who has the power. A certain judge named Amy Coney Barrett, who of course went on to be appointed to the Supreme Court by President Trump, wrote in an article on the National Constitution Center website. She said the clause does not specify which branch of government has the authority to suspend the privilege of the writ, but most agree that only Congress can do it. So this is a pretty widespread consensus. Now, I think it's also worth noting the actual text of this so-called suspension clause. It says the privilege of the writ of habeas corpus shall not be suspended unless when in cases of rebellion or invasion the public safety may require it. So one, it requires rebellion or invasion. Very much unclear, to be generous. We are under rebellion or invasion. And number two, it says even in those cases, public safety needs to require it. So does it currently require it when the president is boasting that the border is basically closed and no one is getting in? That's a pretty high hurdle to clear in the courts.
Daniel Dale, appreciate you walking us through that. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
So the acting president of Columbia University enduring a chorus of boos after taking the stage for a commencement address today. Here is what happened when Claire Shipman tried to begin speaking at Columbia College, the university's liberal arts school.
Good morning, class of 2025. I know that many of you feel some amount of frustration with me, and I know you feel it with the administration.
Some attendees also voicing frustrations over the arrest of Mahmoud Khalil, the student protest leader who was detained by immigration agents earlier this year. They're screaming "Free Mahmoud" there. This outcry at Columbia also comes just days after police arrested a group of protesters who stormed a school library before finals. CNN reached out to the university for comment, but has not received a response yet.